Clement. I'm a captain with Lompoc Police Department. First of all, I'd like to start off with expressing our condolences to the family of the person who was shot and killed in an officer-involved shooting today. The person who was shot and killed has been identified as Michael Giles. He's 27 years old. He is a resident of Lompoc. Just after 8 o'clock this morning, our officers were dispatched to a laundromat in the 1000 block of North H Street regarding a subject who was disturbing and threatening violence. Officers arrived and the subject had fled the area. Officers were checking for him and they located him on the north side of the shopping center. At that point, he brandished a knife at the officers and fled. Officers chased Mr. Giles, where he ran across H Street through traffic and into the walking path that heads between H Street and O Street. At that point, Mr. Giles hid in the bushes, and as officers located him, he confronted the officers and an officer-involved shooting took place. Mr. Giles was deceased, pronounced deceased at Lompoc Valley Medical Center. No officers were injured in this incident. The officer who was involved in this incident is identified as Charles Scott. He is almost a 4-year veteran of the Lompoc Police Department. He was promoted to corporal in February of this year, and he previously worked for Chowchilla Police Department for 8 years before coming to work for the Lompoc Police Department. Does anybody have any questions?
Is that officer placed on leave now, and how long is that leave?
That officer is on administrative leave, and that is to be determined. His administrative leave is to be determined.
Do we know at this time yet? Sorry, do we know at this time yet how many times he might have shot at Mr. Giles?
The Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department is conducting the investigation, and I do not know how many times how many shots were fired.
Did you have prior contact with Mr. Giles, the department?
Yes.
Can you characterize what those were?
He has been arrested by our agency twice. He has been arrested for violation of court orders, vandalism, and battery.
Was there any less than lethal used?
That's still under investigation by the Sheriff's Department, and I do not have that answer at this point.
What's standard procedure for when an officer has to discharge his firearm in this type of situation?
After this has taken place, is that what your question is?
No, I mean, why? At what point is that officer going to discharge his firearm at somebody with a knife coming at him?
When someone with a knife is coming at him. When an officer is in fear of his life or someone else's life, the officer can use deadly force.
Do we know how big Mr. Giles was? His build, his make?
I do not know his physical. I do not have that with me. No.
And just to confirm, the Lompoc police do not wear body cams, correct?
No, we do not have body cameras.
Are you aware of any video of the incident?
We have checked the area for surveillance. Actually, the Sheriff's Department has checked the area for surveillance. I do not believe that there's any actual video of the incident.
Were there people outside at the time? It's kind of a busy time of the morning. There's a busy hotel nearby. Were there others in the vicinity, immediate vicinity?
That's what the Sheriff's Department is working on. They are seeking out witnesses and trying to interview everybody who saw anything.
When was the last officer involved shooting in the city?
That would have been in March of 2015. So almost 2 years ago.
Can you say at this point how close the officer or the suspect was to the officer?
I do not have that information.
Can you repeat again where he was shot?
He was on the bike path, in between, H and Ocean.
And on the body?
I don't know.
Do you know how many officers were on the scene when the shooting took place?
There were 4 officers on scene,
Only one officer shot.
and 1 officer fired his weapon, yes.
Do we know when the crime scene will be cleaned up today?
That's the sheriff's department who is conducting that investigation, and I do not know how long they will be out there.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Nope.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.